Hello everyone, Glenda Mollet here, and I'm in my craft room tonight, and we will be stamping one of the September monthly stamping club's cards. Going to make a Christmas card using the Magnolia designer paper. Magnolia, I can't remember what the name of it is. It's been a while. This is the first video I've done since June, so you'll have to excuse me if I'm a little rattled because I don't think I have everything, but we're going to carry on. So there's a lot of coloring in this card, so I've pre-done some of it. So here's the recipe for it. Mossy Meadow ink. We're going to use blends: dark real red, dark mango, melody, and light mossy meadow. Some Wink of Stella, basic black, copper foil, real red, very vanilla, the Magnolia designer paper, a stamp set called Perfectly Plaid, and it will be available September the 4th in the new holiday catalog. The heirloom frame dies and embossing folder, a stitched oval die, and a new embossing folder called Stylish Scroll. And then on the envelope, I'm using a stamp called Magnolia Blooms. So let me just tell you about that. So you all know about our current Good Morning Magnolia stamp set that has this amazing magnolia image, some wonderful fonts, and a small magnolia bud. Well, this one that's called Good Morning Magnolia, and it's available in the annual catalog. This stamp set is called Magnolia Blooms, and it is meant for stampers that are just starting out and want to grow their inventory without a lot of output money-wise. So they've created this stamp set to coordinate with Good Morning Magnolia. It's just a bit smaller. So there's the image size on that one, and this is just smaller. And then there's leaves, and this one mimics the big one. And this one has happy birthday and thank you. Well, this has thanks, hello, and thinking of you. So this one is available online, or you can see it in the beginner pamphlet that I've got. So we're going to be using this one for the envelope. We're also going to use the Noble Peacock rhinestones. Oh, no, sorry, that's another card. Okay, this could be quite the video, and I forgot to put my phone on Do Not Disturb, so I'm hoping I don't get any calls. So this is Perfectly Plaid. As I said, it's available in the holiday catalog that starts September the 4th, which is tomorrow. It won't be tomorrow when you watch this, but it's tomorrow for me doing this. So there's the sentiment that we're using. I love this. And you can get it in a bundle with the pine tree punch. More on that later. We're not using it as a pine tree. All we're using is the sentiment. So I have those two. This is the Stylish Scroll embossing folder. And it's in the background of this stamp. Then we have the oval stitch die for the sentiment. Oh man, it's going to be a good one. So it's number 2. So I count from the inside and go out. So this one normally fits right in there. So it's number 2. And then we're going to use the heirloom frames and frame dies and embossing folders. So there's an oval one and a square one. And then there's coordinating embossing folders for both of them. And you purchase these in a bundle. So you cut it out first, and then you put it in here and emboss it. So that's what gives this gorgeous frame around the picture. So let's get that out of the way because we don't need it. We're going to need that, and we're going to need that. Okay, so let's start out easy because it could be a long video. Okay, let's make sure that I've got that in the frame for you to keep an eye on while I'm doing what I'm doing. Okay, Mossy Meadow ink. And Merry Christmas sentiment. I'm just going to stamp that in the middle there. And close this up because I don't want to get it all over the place. All right, so get my magnetic platform out here. There we are, and I'm, oops, pardon me, just going to line this up. It doesn't look like it quite fits, but it does. Hopefully my hair wasn't in the way. So I'm just going to run this through my Big Shot. Now, if you come to this class, well, it's not a class, it's our monthly Stamping Club stamping night day. So when you come, if you have a dark real red blends, could you bring it with you? Because as you can see, there's lots and lots of coloring, and it would just make it a lot easier. So here's the pieces that need coloring. So this piece, I didn't show you the inside. I've put a piece of that on the inside as well. Isn't that awesome? And then on the envelope, we're going to color that image in as well. Okay, so I've done most of the coloring already because it is time consuming and tedious. Some of these images, you don't have to color because you don't see them. So you know what? It'd probably be smart if I just cut the frame out first. So let's just put that aside, and I'm going to grab my piece of copper foil. And this is the piece that layers under there, and we're just going to cut this frame out of that, just making sure that it's centered so I can hide it with the real red embossed piece. Okay, so we have this that we're going to use as the outside frame, so I'm going to save that. This is the piece we're going to use, and then this is a leftover, take it home and make it your own, and I don't want to see it in my craft room again. So this is the matching embossing folder, and you put it copper side up, and I'm just lining this up. The oval one takes a little bit more to line up because you got to make sure the oval is straight as well. The square one is really quite easy to line up. Okay, I think I've got it. Okay, so what I do is I just keep an eye on this little bit around the inside, and then there's a little bit around the outside as well. And I'm holding this tight because I don't want it to move. And this is one of the new style embossing folders. So in my machine, I can use my magnetic platform, the embossing folder, and then just one plate on top. I don't need a shim, and it goes through quite well. I'm just slowly running it through here. I've discovered in the last year of stamping that if you are using your die cutting machine, doesn't matter which one it is, go slow. Give the machine time to bend and mold the paper. So I go like this slow over it. If you go like this, you're not going to get as good an image as you're going to get if you take your time. So here you go. So this is going to go over here. And don't worry about this because once we attach it, I'm going to cut that off. So see, I didn't have to color these ones here, but I am going to, or this one up there. But I am going to have to color that one that I started to color. So let's just give that a quick, and you don't have to be too fussy about this either, because it really, this paper really takes the blends ink well. I have not tried it with just the Stampin' Right markers, but you could probably use them too. And you could probably use the pencil crayons as well. Okay, Okay, I'm just going to do part of this one because I think that's going to be outside. Oh no. Nope. I'm going to do that one too. There we are. So that's how quick it is. And you don't have to color the centers either because they're already yellow. So if you want to, you can. I'm not going to bother with it. So now I'm going to get out my dimensionals. Let's see what I've got left here. Because I'm going to use a few of them on here because I don't want this to fall down. I want it to stand up over and the piece that I colored. So I'm probably going to go overboard with the dimensionals, but that's okay. So I'm just doing it in between the, ooh, there's a little one there. I'll just move that over there. I'm doing it in between the areas that are not embossed. Just like that. So that it helps keep everything up and doesn't squish. I probably don't have any more big ones. Okay, so let's just cut a couple of hunks out of here. I've discovered that the more the better on these frames. Otherwise they'll have a tendency to cave in the center. I don't want that. It's completely up to you. If you want them to go flat, then just use adhesive or use a few dimensionals. Okay, let's make sure I got them all off. Yeah. Right, so now I'm going to, let's see, can I get both of them in there? See, you've got a lot of room. You can play with it and make sure you get in there what you want. There. Now I'm just going to cut these. Oops, stuck to the paper. Just going to cut these extra little corners off because I don't need those. Those out of the way. And there we are. There's our front. Alright, put that to the side. Now I'm going to take the real red piece and put it through the Stylish Scroll embossing folder. And this one is one of the thin ones. So we go back to the Big Shot platform with, excuse me, with a shim, and then a cutting pad, and then the embossing folder, and then this. I know it's really confusing, all these different embossing folders. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make up a bunch of stickers that tell you what sandwich to use. So I will have them available, I don't know when, for my club members. And if anybody out there that is in a year or so when I put this public, if anybody out there in Stamping Land wants one, just give me an email and I will email them to you. There you go. See, and it covers up all the center. Now it goes on to a black card base. I know, a black Christmas card. Can you imagine? Outside the box. I've been trying to do that a lot lately. And I've been really working on some fabulous Christmas cards. I can't wait to share them with you. Okay, make sure. I don't know why I did that, because this part is ambidextrous, but it saves me having to figure it out when I come to do the next step. There we are. Now we're going to put this on, and it just goes flat, so just add some adhesive. Oh, I didn't get my tear and tape out tonight. And I'm going to put a piece right in the middle just because I can. Okay, now we have to figure out. Now, I'm going to have my sentiment go down here. So I think I'm going to put it this way. And I want that centered. And then you just push down where you put your adhesive. Now, before I go any further, I'm going to put some Wink of Stella on the flower centers. Because I can. And I like it bling. Did you know that if you have empty Wink of Stella pens, they're not really empty? They still have a bunch of the liquid inside. So you can turn these into a colored Wink of Stella pen if you want. So this is an old one that I just finished off. There's probably a little bit left in here. But you just open it and then open it like this. And I think you take this. I haven't done this yet, so this is an experiment. See what happens. There's a way to get ink in there. I just don't know how. It's coming. So either drop it in there or try and pry that off. And then put this back in there. And give it a shaky, 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 shaky. And you have a colored Wink of Stella pen. Isn't that cool? Okay, that's my free advice for the night. Okay, so now I'm going to put this here. And it's going to rest on that. So I'm just going to put a dimensional. Get my little ones here. I'll put a dimensional in that corner and a dimensional up in this corner where it's going to be off the other side. So that it sits like that. And take the backing off. Come on, there we go. There we are. That card is done, except for the inside. So we take the inside piece and this piece of designer paper that I already colored. And you'll see that that coloring is the blends that have come through on the paper. So make sure you do this, do the coloring on a scrap paper, because it will show through. I'm just leaving a little bit on the edge. What did I do in here? I put this one right to the very edge. So this one I've left a little bit. I just want to see. No, I think I want it right to the edge. So now I have to get this back up. Hold your tongue properly. There we go. I'm going to put it right over to the edge. And I've already colored the centers of this one with the Wink of Stella. And I colored I cut this long so that you can cut it off the excess and have it go right from top to bottom. Because you know how I hate that, having that white line at the top. Well, this one would be vanilla because it's vanilla, not white. And get the card back. Pop it inside. There we are. Now, got to put my name on that. So, what I used to put my name on the back of the black cards, because it doesn't matter what you use. It shows. So there's a couple of things. You can use the Whisper White pigment ink, or you can use one of the new Delicata metallic inks. Oh my goodness, I love these things. This is copper, so it matches the copper frame and layer we have. Look at that. Look at that. my goodness, I have a phone call coming in. It's one of those numbers that you don't know who it is. So I just said goodbye. All right, so there's the card. Now I'm going to do the envelope, and I'm going to use that Magnolia Blooms stamp set and the big image. I could have used the little one, but I chose to use the big one. Make sure I get good inkage on it. And I'm not going to take the time to color this one because there's a lot of coloring in it. There we are. Look at that. Isn't that fabulous? Remember back in the day when Oprah had her show, she would go, fabulous. I know, I'm crazy. So this is what happens when you do a lot of coloring with your blends on an envelope. It comes through. So if you're going to do that, slip a scrap paper in there. Okay, so there's the original card, and there's the one we made tonight. Now the host code for September 2019 you can find either in the email that I send out or with the links to the videos, or it's in our Facebook group as well under the event. So I hope you enjoyed stamping with me tonight. Sorry, I was a little scatterbrained, but I'll get back in the groove yet. Thanks for stamping with me. Bye for now.